Yes, hello, this is kenb from Century 21 Real Estate Alliance, and this is another podcast of All Things Real, which examines real estate issues in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm speaking today with Mike Devlin. Mike Devlin is a manager of Success Realty. He's been in the sector for close to 30 years. He's a real estate guru, and he's good enough to spend some time with us today. And Mike, let me just start with a question that people normally ask me. They ask me, what is the market like, basically?
Well, that's sort of like asking, what's the weather like?
Yeah, of course.
Right. You know, it depends on where you are at any particular time. So right now, the market is still relatively strong as a seller's market, particularly in the Bay Area, certainly in Silicon Valley, Southern Alameda County in particular. By that, I mean that if properties are priced right and they're in the price range that's moving, there are multiple offers. I wrote an offer on a property a few weeks ago in Fremont. There were 29 offers.
Wow.
Another one had 17 offers. Willow Glen, there was a property that had 10 offers. So it kind of depends on what price range you're talking about and what zip code. It's flatter in the high end. You know, when you get to 3 million and that sort of thing, that market is a lot weaker. The price, things under $1 million or up to 1.2, 1.3 is right now a fairly hot market.
And this is true for pretty much all counties in the Bay Area.
Yeah, well, so let's say Santa Clara County, the median price is 1.1. San Mateo County, it's closer to 1.2. San Francisco County, it's closer to 1.3. Alameda County, it's closer to 8-something to 900,000. So and Contra Costa County is more in the 600 to 700,000 range,
good. Which is very affordable compared to other parts of Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are big differences.
Okay.
So where in Santa Clara County, the hottest markets are 600 to 800 and 800 to 1 million. That's a very tight market in Santa Clara County. If you go to Alameda County, there's a lot more to pick from within those price ranges. You go to San Mateo County, there's hardly anything. You go to San Francisco, it's like, what, are you crazy? You're in the wrong, you got off at the wrong stop on the train,
Exactly.
So it depends.
Okay. Another question that people constantly ask me, maybe because we did see a slight drop in prices in some areas last year, will we see a drop in home prices in 2020? I mean, based on what you think. It's difficult to predict, but
well, I have a crystal ball, but it broke.
Yeah,
and the parts I've been told are on order. Yeah, right? I'm on Amazon's waiting.
I don't know if any of them work. Yeah,
for the next one. So what I would say about that is prices are going to go up, and again, it kind of depends upon where we're talking about. So predicting the future is always a little bit difficult. The San Jose metropolitan area, which includes Santa Clara and Sunnyvale, prices are expected to rise by the end of the year by about 2.5%.
Okay.
In San Francisco, they're projected to drop a teensy bit.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
Now, what I'm seeing is prices are going up, but not like they were before. I was having this discussion with an agent today about, I'm not going to say the name, but a fairly well-known real estate agent who 5 years ago predicted that prices would double in 5 years. Right. It didn't. Yeah. And it can't. Right. You understand the market goes up and it goes down. There's always a correction. And typically the cycles are about 10-year cycles. It's been really 12 years, 13 years since we've been in that cycle. Now, we're not lending like we did the last time. The type of credit, if you look at how available credit is, it's a lot tighter now. They're not doing a lot of stupid things they were doing back then with the loans. So that we're not in, people are always saying, well, how's the, are we in a bubble or things going to crash?
It's just a question, How is the market? Again, it's not easy to answer in just one sentence.
Well, my answer is, which I think I can do in a sentence, is it all depends on how Google, Apple, Cisco, and those guys are doing. Let's say, and our market, in a weird sense, San Jose metropolitan area is more insulated from tech failure than San Francisco. San Francisco is way more dependent upon tech companies. And the San Jose has other things too. You may not know about them, but there are more things. But as long as all of the tech companies are doing well, I don't think Apple's going broke.
We haven't heard that anyway.
Google seems to be able to pay their rent.
They're going to stick around for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So as long as, say, there's a statement about politics this is a famous old line, all politics is local, right? All real estate is local. Right? So what is happening in the United States, what is happening in California isn't necessarily what's happening in the Bay Area. And just from San Jose to Concord, it's a huge difference.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. One last question. This is, again, something that people ask me a lot. People always ask me, Ken, is it a good time to sell? Maybe you've already answered this question because you mentioned that things are very hot at the moment, but just to reiterate, is it a good time to sell?
Well, it all comes down to why do you want to sell the house? Right. Now, the market does correct, right? It goes up and it goes down. If you look at historical trends, this has been going on for a long time. The market doesn't just go up forever, right? It will correct. I had a client last year that was in a hurry to sell his house in Blossom Valley because he was afraid that the crash was coming, right? So if you're sitting on the fence and you're thinking about selling, the question is, what's the future going to be like? And this is related to, is now a good time to buy? The reason it's a good time to sell is because it's a good time to buy, right? Because interest rates are low. It's the cost of money is ridiculously low, right? So because it's a good time to buy, it's a good time to sell. Now, what makes something a seller's market? Are we in a seller's market now? Well, if we have multiple offers and prices are rising and there aren't very many months of inventory, that means how long would it take us to sell the homes we currently have? That's a seller's market. However, what a seller's market really means is that most people aren't selling. Most people aren't selling.
Yeah.
That's why it's a seller's market, because we have low inventory,
Exactly.
right? So when do most people sell their home? The answer is in a buyer's market. That's why it's called a buyer's market. Right. Now, if you're buying stocks, would you sell them when they're high or low? Right. If you were going to sell your stocks, you would sell them when they're high, not low. Sure, right. Yeah. So if what I see happening, I've been through this a few times, is that people are waiting for the market to peak so they can max out.
That's right.
And then the challenge is you don't know that the market has peaked until it's already peaked.
You've already missed the boat.
Yeah. And then it's starting to go down. What happens when the market starts to go down is all the other sellers that are waiting on the fence also say, oh my gosh, the market is correcting. It's time for me to get my home on the market. So there's a flood of inventory that hits at one time. Buyers, when they see that the market is correcting and the prices are dropping and inventory is growing, they back off because they're like, whoa, let's see how low this is going to go. There's more stuff coming on the market. Why don't we? And the buyers backing off and more sellers piling on means that literally within a month, the market is different, right? And then on the other hand, buyers wait until the market hits bottom before they buy because they want it to hit bottom. Right. But then
they're not sure also how much farther it's going to go, like you said.
But then they don't know until it hit bottom.
Right.
And then once it goes up again, then all the buyers that have been sitting on the fence, I likened it to a herd of wildebeest that hears a loud noise and they turn and they all start. So all the buyers now start to move because the interest rates are rising and prices are rising again, but there's low inventory because sellers aren't selling because it's a down market. So, it's not trying to time the market is a very dangerous thing.
Sure.
Right. And if you have a place to go and something to do with the money, now is a good time to sell a home, but it's also a good time to buy a home. Right. And those aren't contradictory. Right. It's,
Okay, good. All right. Well, again, thanks for your time, Mike, and thanks to anyone who is listening. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me. Again, Ken Buchan. You'll see my contact information in the post. You can also reach out to Mike Devlin, again, with Success Realty. His contact information will be there. Thanks a lot for listening.